Hello, America, FBI and CIA agents, and fellow cult members. Welcome to Culture Club USA. I'm Dubrava. In today's episode, we're going to dive into the culture of new wave feminist advice gurus and see if there's any virtue and wisdom to find. Or are the blind just leading the blind? Today, Sirius Satellite Radio's Tinx takes the call on a high-powered female lawyer who doesn't understand why no man wants to date her. You ready? Let's dive in.
Emily. Hey, Emily, what's going on?
Okay, I have a theory that I think you would be interested to hear.
Love. Tell me the theory.
Okay, so background, I'm Canadian.
Okay, love.
He's from New Zealand.
Oh, obsessed.
Yeah, me too. He moved here when he was 25, so he grew up in New Zealand.
Okay.
And further backstory, I'm a lawyer, and he's an electrician by trade, but he's now in management, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so what he gets a lot, and it's very confusing for him because it's such a Canadian and I think American thing too, is people in his professional life who don't know me, when they hear that his wife's a lawyer, they're like, oh, a lawyer, and they make a big deal out of it because they automatically assume an income differential between us.
Right.
And they assume that would bother my husband.
Right.
And it fully doesn't.
Okay.
Well, first of all, lawyers don't like lawyers. Let me just make something clear. I want to make a point here, okay? And I live in New York. I know lawyers that are men, and I also have family members that are lawyers that are men. And some of these, one family member, I've said, why don't you date women lawyers? Oh, never. I would never date a woman lawyer. No way. Why? So in other words, male lawyers don't even want to date female lawyers. And the reason why is that they're boss babes. They want to wear the pants. And they want to be lawyers in the relationship, okay? No man wants to date a litigator, okay? You don't want to come home from a hard day at the office or in court and deal with another courtroom with your wife running it. Seriously, or girlfriend. I mean, it makes sense, right? But I know this for a fact because I am around a lot of lawyers. They don't want to date them. It's not what men want.
We met when I was in law school, and I always just thought, he's a good guy. This whole women making more than men thing doesn't bother him. But then, over the years meeting his friends back home also are married to women that make more than them in some cases, and they don't seem to care either.
Yeah.
And so we ended up getting into a discussion about it, and I was like, why do you think that is? And he finds it very odd that men in North America have this thing about women making more than them. And what we kind of came to is when he was growing up, his whole life, the Prime Minister of New Zealand was a woman.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, consistently they've had female leaders. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting, because I think what it boils down to is that men in New Zealand are used to seeing women in power because that's just how they grow up.
Yeah.
And they don't have that weird shift about a woman shouldn't be making more than them, a woman shouldn't be more, quote unquote, powerful than them. And I was like, that's why representation really matters.
It really does.
Let me ask you guys a question, okay? And let me know in the comments, because I really want to know, especially for men. Is it really about a woman making more money than a man? Or is it really about something else? Is it really about just the finances, about the amount of money a woman makes? Or is it more about most women who make more money, first of all, throw it in men's faces, okay, and want to run and rule the house? Is it more about women that make more money tend to want to be the leader instead of allowing the man to lead? Could it be that? Because in my opinion, okay, and we're in modern times and women, most women are working, not all, but, let's keep it in modern times for a second. The reality is that no man wants to be ruled over by a woman. No man wants to have a house that a woman is leading. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. I don't think it has anything to do with the amount of money the woman is making and that it's more than the man. I think it's the fact that these women have these boss babe mentality attitudes, and because they make more money, they're like, well, I'm the one paying for the private school. I pay for the dance lessons. I'm paying for the piano. I pay for most of this apartment. And women tend to do that. I notice women tend to throw stuff in men's faces, and no man wants to deal with that. Okay? Nobody does. No man wants to deal with that. No man wants a woman leading his house, running his house, ruling the house, and throwing petty little things that happen to pertain to finances over their heads. And a lot of women do that are in those positions.
I co-sign that. I agree. I was just speaking to my friend who's my age. She's super successful. And we were speaking about the ugly truth about being, whatever, successful as a woman and dating. And I fundamentally believe men are turned off by it. Is that a generalization? And I'm saying in this country, is it a generalization? 100%. I'm sure someone's going to call me next and go, well, I make more than my husband and he doesn't care. Fine, that you're the exception, not the rule. On the whole, in this country, guys are turned the fuck off by women who are rich and successful. It's just a fact. It's just the truth. And it's really hard to date if you are ambitious and career driven, and if you are a high earner and you do, stand on business. It's really hard. It's really hard. Okay.
No, women, their attitudes when they have that boss babe thing going on and they're successful and high powered and make a lot of money, their attitudes, their aura, that's what turns off men. Men are turned off by what women are presenting to them. Okay. This attitude, I'm a boss babe. Like, I make, you know how much money I make? Like, that's what turns men off. There's no femininity here. Men are attracted to feminine women. There's nothing feminine about going around being a boss babe. Women that tend to make more money, in order to have gotten there to that point, they had to kind of be a little hard. You got to be a little hard. You can't, can you imagine how difficult it is to be like running a bank, let's say? Or Mary Barra, I think her name is, that, runs like Ford or one of those car companies, whatever. You know what that's like? Got a whole bunch of men that you have to control, okay? And they don't like that. So you have to harden yourself. So there's something to be said here. It's like, if you really want a man and you want to be a feminine woman, maybe you shouldn't really go into a powerful career. Maybe you should not have taken that path to be a lawyer. Think about what lawyers do. They're litigating. They're literally, whether you're a litigator or not, you're literally litigating a case. You're going through all these things, and everything is like picking apart everything. So then you're going to come home and have that same mentality. You're picking apart your husband, picking apart your boyfriend, picking apart your kids. It's just like certain careers women really should stay out of unless they want to be gay and marry another woman. Just my thoughts.
In 2022, about 31% of their husbands earned less than their wives in opposite sex marriages. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think that you're so right. I think that we have weird things about power and gender in this country. And it's like really freaky and weird. We see it reflected in our politics. We see it reflected in leadership roles across the country. It's fucking strange. And
yeah, just as strange as you are sitting here talking the way you do on your podcast. And this is the third one I've seen. You're really weird. You tell women to go out and do whatever they want and act on emotions and feelings and not really think for themselves. Okay. You're telling women to not think, just like right now, like, a good podcaster. This is what I'm saying. Who is this? She has to literally be somebody's daughter. She has to be Howard Stern's kid. Okay, secretly, there's no way. This is one of the worst podcast hosts I've ever seen. A smart podcast host would say, now, well, you're saying men don't want to date. Now, why is it? Do you think could it be, your personality? Do you come home acting like the lawyer at home? Are you interrogating the men you date for a living? Like, what is it? There's something deep here, because just actually being a lawyer, and, even being a lawyer that just like, paper pushes or doing a real estate law or whatever, it's like, what's your mentality? Is she even asking her that? No, every caller that calls in with this woman Tinx. Oh, you're a boss, babe. You're it. Yeah, men got real problems because they don't want to, they can't deal with women that make money. I'm successful. I'm Howard Stern's kid. So what? I don't care. I got here. Why? It doesn't matter. I'm powerful. I'm successful. You're successful. My friends are successful, and men can't handle it. Men can't handle it. No, men don't want it. They're not attracted to it. There's a difference. Men can handle anything they want to handle. They don't want it. They're not attracted to it. Okay? They want to be leaders.
I think representation really does matter. Also, whenever you find a guy, to your point, who is like cool with his wife earning more, just like in general kind of cool, you always dig a little bit deeper and he's like, oh, well, my mom was a lawyer and I really admire her. Or, oh yeah, I was raised by like my mom and my aunt, and they were both really cool. Or, oh, I have all these sisters, and there's always some sort of representation in their life that shows them how wonderful and powerful women can be. And I think you're absolutely right. That's why representation matters.
Always never use absolutes. Okay. Because I don't even know, like, does she even know what she's talking about here? Like, if that was coming out of Andrew Wilson's mouth, I might believe it. But I mean, really? Always. First of all, if a man is raised by women, he's got problems. Most of the time. I'm not going to say always, but you probably have issues.
So interesting.
Yeah. And, even when I was a law student, I was making $0, but obviously had like this career trajectory, and I was dating before I met my husband, men would be so weird about it.
I'm sure.
Like, oh, too smart for me. And I'd be like, oh, because I might be smarter than you. You won't want to go on a date with me? Like, my gross.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre that they will like fully.
They don't think you're smarter. They just don't want you. No one thought you were smarter. No man thought you were smarter. They just didn't really want you because they don't want a lawyer for a wife. Maybe some of the things she's saying about her husband is true. He comes from more of a socialist country, and, women are leaders and blah, blah, blah. And maybe he was raised by women and Now, is he a feminine man or a masculine man? That's my question. What's he look like? What's he doing? Get it? Instead of height, weight, dress size, it's like, is he feminine? Is he a writer? Like, what does he do? He's an electrician, but that doesn't mean he's not effeminate. You know what I mean?
Say that out loud, but I've heard that too. Or like, it's just weird. It's so uncomfortable. It's such a strange thing, and I don't know how we get past it. I mean, it's aside from having more representation and standing our ground. Because sometimes I do think like, oh, should I tone it down a bit? But then I'm like, that wouldn't be me. And then why would I want someone to fall for someone who isn't me? Like, I am ambitious. I am a ball buster. I like to make money and spend it on what I want. Like, that's my life and who I am. And so at the end of the day, what can I do? You know what I mean?
You could probably marry a woman. That would be great. It probably sounds like, something work for you really well.
That's who I am.
No, you got to find a guy who doesn't care. I have a colleague who says that men will either mostly try to compete with you or expect you to be their mommy. And you need to find, like when you're a woman in a bigger career.
Yeah.
And you need to find the guys that fall somewhere off that chart. Or else.
Yeah. I want someone to take care of me. I'm like, come out alpha me. Please, I'm begging you. I'm exhausted. I was texting my best friend Pig this morning and I was like, I'm fucking tired. I'm ready for a rich guy. I'm so tired. I need a little break. I need to go on a yacht. Please. I need someone I'm begging to be out alpha'd. It's not my fault that most
out alpha'd. Wow, I've never heard that before. She wants to be out alpha'd. So you're alpha. So what are you trying to marry? A gay man that wants another dude? I mean, what the heck is she talking about? And by the way, if you're tired and you want to be on a yacht, what are you doing on Sirius XM trying to be a star for? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this makes no sense. So she doesn't want to be out. She wants to be out alpha. She doesn't want to work. Okay. But she wants to do this podcast that clearly she didn't put much work into because nothing she says makes sense. 99% of the time, so far from what I've heard. And, you want a rich man now. Like, these people are so confused. It's mind boggling. And by the way, like, what man that would want to literally slave over his own career to be rich enough to have a yacht? What man would want you? You're what they're going to pick. You can't even present yourself properly on your job, at your job, on television, on Sirius XM, on YouTube. Like, you can't even take the time to dress yourself, comb your hair, wash, and look decent, feminine, whatever. But you want to be out alpha'd. But you're like the least feminine thing ever that I've seen in a long time. And you want a rich man to take all his hard work and resources for you. No, that's not how it works, okay? Let me just put this out here. Men that are successful, okay, that have money, okay? And I know this because I'm around them. Men that are successful that have money, they're not going to take all of what they worked for and hand it to that. They're going to pick a woman that reveres them, that admires them, that can't live without them, that literally wants to wear his clothes like at night. You know what I'm saying? Like you bought her a car and she still wants to drive yours. Admiration. A woman that fawns over him. That's the appeal. She doesn't even have to be that beautiful. She should be in shape, can be witty and so, have a conversation. Doesn't have to be a 10, a 9, 8, or a 7. But if you have certain qualities, men will take that over anything else. They want to be leaders, they want to be providers, but they want to provide for people who love and appreciate and respect them. Okay? They don't want to go spending, they're on their yacht, the 2 weeks off that they had, which probably doesn't even really exist because they're never stop working if you're at that level, what she wants, okay? And have to hear her and look at her? You think that's what they're looking for? Good luck with that, okay? Not happening. Not happening.
Guys can't step up to the plate.
They really can.
I love your theory. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it. And I think it's very cool that you're a badass lawyer. And we love Canadians. We love you. Sorry that our government is acting so rude to you. You are our neighbors and our allies forever. We love you, Canada.
Oh, we know it's not every American's fault.
Yeah. Thanks for calling. Bye.
We pay for Canada, lady. Tinx. Okay? You're dumber than a doorknob. We pay for Canada. Did you not know that? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Canadians. I have friends that are from Canada. Yeah, it's a socialist place. A lot of them have very socialist views, but that doesn't mean they can't have a conversation and aren't amazing people. But what are you talking about? Do you know anything that you're talking about, by the way? I mean, this is like the worst advice guru I have seen yet. There are YouTubers that blow her away. Even if the advice is bad, it's presented better. I mean, this girl's literally a dunce.
Thanks for calling. Bye, babe.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, babe. Bye, babe. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, let's talk to the women for a second. Okay, if you're looking for a man and you want a relationship, I don't care what level you're on, okay? I don't care how much money either of you make. I don't care what it is. None of that matters. What matters is that men want to be leaders. They want to be admired. They want to be fawned after, okay? They want you to live for them. That's what men want. And if you give them that and you can manage to have some femininity there, guess what? They'll probably give you the world. It's really that simple. I'm serious. This is how stupid women are today. This is how dumb these feminists like Tinx actually are. It is that easy. Men are actually pretty low maintenance. They don't really require much. Oh, God. Guys, please let me know what you think of all this in the comments. Let me know what you think. Is it really about the fact that the female makes more money? Or is it about how they conduct themselves? Is it about how they present themselves? Is it about their attitude? Guys, let me know. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm Dubrava. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I appreciate you all. See you on the next one.